Mitsubishi Motors Badminton Horse Trials 2017. The sun is now coming out, and it's been a great day's competition as always. And as you can see from our leaderboard and from the riders that we've been lucky enough to get them to come up and talk to us tonight, we have had some of the best riders today and more to come tomorrow. So in the traditional way, or certainly the tradition I've started, of way of doing this is that I will ask the riders a question, and then it's really up to you. I know a lot of you will have got information from when we were, first of all, we got an awful lot of information when you were down at the mix zone, but at the same time, it gives you an opportunity. So in third place, after the first day of the Mitsubishi Motors Badminton Horse Trials, is Michael Jung on La Biostétique. Sam, a very familiar face here. Lovely to see you again, Michael. Welcome. First of all, have you had any chance to celebrate Kentucky yet?
Yeah, sure.
Seriously, though, how difficult is it for anybody, but yourself included, to come from one top-class event like that to the Mitsubishi Motors Badminton Horse Trials?
It's a lot to organize, but it's not difficult. It's a new motivation, and it's nice that you have many good horses and that you can compete in these big competitions.
And your team will have got the horses already and be here waiting for you almost. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
Good. Any questions for Michael? Okay. Sorry. Have the preparations been the same this year as in previous years, Michael?
Yeah, it was nearly the same. We just missed one competition in Fontainebleau, was cancelled. So we had just one competition, but he had a lot of experience and he feel very good. Yeah, he gave me a very good feeling the last months and weeks. So it changed not so much.
Good. Yes. Who rides Sam for you while you're away?
The same people like always when I'm on the competition.
Who is that?
The name? For example, Isabel or Pietro, Ulrike, different people in my stable. They are working in my stable for riding the horses.
Thank you. Any more questions? Nobody want to? Okay, one last one, Mike. I've got to ask you. I'll probably ask everybody, and it may very well be all three of you will be here tomorrow, but you've had a chance now to look at the cross-country course. You've ridden here before, you've won here before. What do you think of the 2017 cross-country course?
I think it's a very tough course, and you have to be very concentrated from the beginning to the finish. Also that your horse had enough energy in the end. There are very big fences and very upright, nearly every fence in the end. Yeah, and there comes a lot of questions directly after. You have not one fence between where you can give the horse a new motivation if you had some problems. Yeah, you have to be very concentrated always.
Brilliant. Okay, well, if you'd like to pass the microphone, another familiar face, and welcome again to Bettina Hoy from Germany on Designer 10 in second place on the Mitsubishi Motors Badminton Horse Trials. A fantastic dressage test, but just following on for what Michael said, you know this horse likes cross-country, but how do you think he's going to react to this course that's been built up by Eric Winters?
Well, I think Eric has built a very clever course. Like as Michi said, you have to be extremely concentrated as a rider. And I think you need to have a very good jumper underneath you because there's just one big question after the other. And not many fences where they can get their breath back. And especially that last part, like from the DuPont onwards, it literally goes uphill. So by the time you come to the two gates at the end, I think you still want to have something left in the tank so that they can pick up and produce some nice jumps.
Brilliant. Any questions for Bettina? I think you've got... Can I just ask you as well, a technical, but I mean, the time looks like... You think the time is a fair time for the course?
Well, I think it's tough with all this intensity in the middle, and the uphill to the end. I think the time will be tough because Eric has been very clever in building a lot of fences where you have to turn into, so you have to actually slow down to get to the fence, which that will make the time quite difficult to get. I'm sure Michi will be right up there and show us all how it's done.
Well, thank you very much to Bettina. Thank you so much. Now then, in first place, after the first day of the draw, so we have Thibaut Vallette on King du Brio. And Thibaut, is very kindly, we have got somebody who's come along, and I don't know your name, and I do apologize. But first of all, Thibaut, can you say this is your first badminton, obviously the success with Rio and elsewhere, but this is your first badminton. How have you found it? Has it been as good as you expected it would be?
Alors c'est vrai que c'est la première fois donc qu'on court badminton. C'est le premier 4 étoiles que je fais et que fait mon cheval aussi. C'est vrai que badminton c'est un petit peu un rêve d'enfant quand on est jeune et qu'on aime le concours complet, donc c'est merveilleux d'être ici. Après je suis ravi de la reprise de King au dressage cet après-midi, donc voilà, il reste une grosse partie du chemin à faire, mais c'est vrai que le cheval s'est bien comporté aujourd'hui.
So Thibaut says that this is his first participation at badminton, but it's also his first participation with his horse in a 4-star event. So he's obviously very pleased to be here, and badminton's a dream for any eventer. And he was very pleased with the dressage today and how his horse went. And of course he knows that it's only the beginning and that there's a lot left to do. So he's looking forward to the next few days.
And Thibaut, we know that you have walked the course at least once, now the cross-country course, but can you just explain how do you feel this horse will ride that course?
Ça va être la première fois qu'il va courir sur une distance aussi longue. Il y a en gros 1 minute de plus par rapport à ce qu'il a l'habitude de faire dans les 3 étoiles. Après, c'est pas ça qui m'inquiète le plus. Voilà, c'est un cheval qui est à l'aise dans les 3 tests, donc qui est aussi à l'aise sur le cross. C'est un gros sauteur. C'est un cheval qui a beaucoup de capacités sur l'épreuve de fond également. Voilà. Après, il y a quelques profils que nous on n'a pas l'habitude de sauter ou qu'on a moins l'habitude de sauter en France, comme des barrières qui sont assez sèches, à peu près aux 2/3 du parcours. Voilà, donc c'est pas mal d'interrogations. Il va falloir rester très très concentré tout le temps et puis être à l'écoute du cheval et puis voilà, vraiment écouter son cheval et être très concentré du début à la fin du parcours.
So Thibaut says that, of course, the fact that it's his first 4-star means an extra minute compared to what he's used to with the horse, so that will be an element, but not one that particularly worries him. He says that the horse is a very good all-rounder with great jumping capacities, and he's an enthusiastic cross-country horse. So there's a lot to look out for, and it's going to necessitate great concentration and to be really listening out for all the signals from him to get it right. There are a few profiles that he's not so used to, that he doesn't encounter so frequently in France, so that will be new elements for him.
Thank you. Any questions for Thibaut?
Thibaut, what were the highlights of... Could we just ask Thibaut, what the highlights of the test were for him, and if there was anything that didn't come off quite as he hoped? Maybe he could just talk about one and then the other, and the lovely lady translating could go.
Alors on sait que ce cheval-là, il a une très grosse locomotion dans le trot. Il a beaucoup de souplesse, ce qui peut parfois me jouer des tours aussi, mais c'est quand même un gros avantage. Il est très souple et a une grosse locomotion dans le travail au trot. C'est un cheval qui naturellement est assez ouvert dans son travail au galop, donc il a fallu pas mal rassembler, assez asseoir dans son galop. C'est ce qui reste à améliorer encore. Donc voilà, toute la partie du trot, j'ai trouvé le cheval assez bien. J'ai eu un petit passage moins facile dans le premier allongement au galop, changement de pied, où je me suis pas très bien débrouillé pour ça. Et puis après, le cheval est redevenu sérieux dans son travail, et donc voilà. Donc globalement, début du galop un petit peu difficile, mais tout le reste de la reprise, je l'ai assez bien vécu. Le cheval était assez à l'écoute, assez avec moi et assez vivant, et il a besoin de pas mal de fraîcheur finalement pour être brillant dans ses allures.
So he says the horse has a very nice trot, and it's important for him to set off to a good start on the dressage test to make that apparent and to get good marks in that. And so he was pleased with that. And then in canter, the horse is a bit more difficult still to collect, and he wasn't so pleased with the first change of direction, flying change. So there was a little moment where it didn't look so good, and then everything went back into place, and he was very pleased with the finish.
Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you to all of you. We do appreciate the time you give us. Good luck. Come back safely on Saturday. We hope it all goes well for you. Once again, in third place from Germany, Jung. Second place, Bettina Hoy. First place after the first day of dressage at the Mitsubishi Motors Badminton Horse Trials 2017. Thibaut Vallette. To all of them and our translator, thank you very much. Thank you.